All right. So today, to start us off, I'm going to give you plots, or I'm going to give you coordinate points, and you are going to make me a graph. You're going to decide what to count by on the x-axis and the y-axis. Remember, x is left and right, y is up and down. I don't know where all my markers go, Ava, but I only have so many to give away. So I have 5 points for you. You can decide how you want to count. If you want to count by 2s, if you want to count by 5s, if you want to count by 10s. But you are going to make me a beautiful graph, okay? And make sure you label the points with the letters. That way I know where you put them, okay? So I'm going to give you some time to do this. Point A is 510, B is 1020, C is 1015, D is 15.5, and E is 20.10. So I'm going to leave this right here. You are going to have plenty of time to make me a beautiful graph with these 5 points, okay? You're going to decide what you're counting by on the x-axis and the y-axis, okay? Then you're going to plot the points. I disagree with what you're putting on your x-axis. Look at my axis. All right. Good luck, friends. You should be working now. You're making a graph. You're plotting my 5 points. You're counting by whatever you need to count by. I'm going to give you guys about 3-ish more minutes probably, because I definitely see people still working. When you're done, just cap your marker and wait patiently. We're not in a rush. That's not a graph. The numbers go over here. Okay. I would not also count by 2, 5. So we'll do something else. There's not a ton of space. Think about the easiest way. You can't do a graph? Okay, I'm concerned if we're having trouble with graphs. What are you doing? Evan, if you don't start charging your computer at night, Mrs. Knifel's gonna freak out. All right. Mrs. Knife, I'm gonna write down the coordinates, that way I don't because I'm gonna erase them so I can show you how I would make this graph, and then I want to see your graphs. So don't erase your graphs. I'm just going to show you how I would make it. Remember, you may have chosen to count by something different, and that's okay. But I'm going to show you how I would have done it, okay? So I don't know if you noticed, but all of the numbers could have been counted by 5. So I personally would have done 5s, okay? So here's Mrs. Knifel's beautiful. Remember, you make it like an L, okay? And I would have counted 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 on the bottom. I would have done the same thing on the y-axis just because everything was, you could have gone by 5s for everything. You could have done 10s. You could have done 2s. I personally think 5s would have been the easiest. Then I would have just drawn my lines. Oh, that's a wavy line. Sorry, my lines aren't perfect because I'm drawing it without it being flat. Okay, here's what my graph would have looked like. Okay? Kaden, stop typing in the chat. All you're worried about is typing in the chat. Just watch my math, okay? So this is what my graph would have looked like. My x-axis would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. My y-axis would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 because 5s would have been the easiest. Then, Mrs. Kneifel has 2 colored markers, so it's hopefully a little bit easier through the screen. My first coordinate was 5, 10. So I would have went over 5, up 10. It would have been right on the dot, and I would have labeled that A. Okay? Hold on, Logan. I did not see what you said. Sorry. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have counted by all the way to 20. That just would have been a lot on the board. You know, it's a lot to count to do 20 lines, but that's fine if you chose to do it by ones. B was over 10 up 20. Here's 5, here's 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. So B would have been right there for mine. C, over 10, 5, 10, up 15. 5, 10, 15. Here is C. D was over 15. 5, 10, 15, up 5. Here's D. And lastly, we had E, which was over 20, up 10. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10. So this would have been how I would have made my graph. Now I want to see your guys' graphs. I want to see if you guys counted by 10s, you count by 5s. If you did, like, as long as what we talked about yesterday, as long as it is even, remember, even numbers between, you can count by whatever you want. I just personally think 5s would have been the easiest. Landon, what did you just say? I didn't hear you. I want to see everyone's board. Your camera needs to be on. I should be able to see your board right now. Rochelle, looks good. You may put it down. Haley, looks good. Okay, well, did you watch me making my graph, Landon? Because it was not hard. All I did was put my numbers and I drew some lines across. Or you could have done like Rochelle. Rochelle didn't even draw the lines. She just knew where she put her numbers and put them in line. Drawing a graph is just a bunch of squares with numbers, okay? That's something you need to learn how to do, okay? Yeah. Anyone else's I didn't really see. Isabella, yours looks good. Anyone else have any questions? So, Landon, what did you do during that time? Jacqueline, yours is good. Mia, good job. Yeah, Logan, exactly. You make an L and put some numbers. So, next round. Everyone should be making a graph, okay? You guys saw how I did it. I drew my L. I decided my number scale, which was by 5s on both sides. And then when I put the numbers, I drew lines and I made cute little boxes, okay? So I'm going to give you more numbers and you're going to try again, okay? Okay, second round of numbers, all right? same thing. You're going to decide your scale, okay? Okay. 5 numbers again. You're going to decide your scale. You're going to do the exact same thing. I want to see everyone's graph at the end. You make an L, then you decide your scale, okay? So, make sure you can see it. Can you see that? Okay. A is 8 over 8 up 2. B is over 10 up 6. C is over 12 up 8. D is over 4 up 8. And E is over 11 up 4. You have plenty of time. Do not feel the need to rush. You're going to count by 5s. You're going to count by 10s. You're going to count by 2s. You're going to count by 3s. You're going to count by 1s. You're going to decide how you're going to be counting, okay? You have plenty of time. Do not rush. Plenty of time. And I'll show you how I would make mine after this. Remember, you're making an L, then you're deciding your numbers. Mia, what's up?
So if I did, if I counted by 2s, like, would E be right there?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep. Remember, yesterday we talked about what happens if a number doesn't fit directly in the scale. It doesn't mean you can't be there. It means you gotta decide where it's gonna go in between the two numbers, okay? I'm gonna give you guys about 2 more minutes because I still see people writing, okay? If you're done, just wait patiently. I'm waiting, Landon. I'm gonna wait. No rush. I want everyone to have a chance to do this because I know it takes people a little bit longer to draw the graph sometimes, and that's fine. 1 more minute, okay? If you're done, wait patiently. If you're not done, keep working. No rush.
If I fall asleep in class, don't be mad. I just don't get sleep at right? I go to bed, but because of my growing pains, it's hard to sleep. So don't fall asleep on purpose.
All right. I'm going to erase my board and I'm going to show you how I would do this. It's okay if your lines aren't perfect. I'm going to show you how I would do this, okay? Landon, keep working, bud. So, if Mrs. Kneifel was doing this, how did you not see the numbers yet, Landon? Bud. Okay, you're just going to follow along with us, okay? All right. Mrs. Kneifel is going to make this. Ready? I draw my L. And I'm looking at my numbers. I have 8, 2, 10, 6, 12, 8, 4, 8, 11, 4. Those kind of sound like I could count by 2. So Mrs. Kneifel is going to make her graph. On the x-axis, I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I also want to count by 2s on my y-axis. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I counted by 2 on both my axes. Now I'm going to put my board down so I can draw my lines. It's hard to draw them when they're up. And then I'll show you what my lovely graph looks like. And then we will plot the points. My lines aren't perfect either, so it's okay if yours aren't. All right, so here's my graph. All I did was draw my lines, and now I'm going to plot my points. I'm going to do it with a different color again. Hopefully we can see it better. So coordinate A was over 8 up 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8 up 2. Here's my A. B was 10, 6 over 10 up 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6. Here's B. C, 12, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Over and up 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Here's C. D was over 4, up 8. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. Here's D. And lastly, E was the hardest because E does not land on 10 or 12. It's 11. So I'm going to go to 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I'm going to go halfway between 10 and 12 for 11 and up 4. So it's going to be right here. Okay? So I counted by 2s. You may have counted by 1s. I personally would not have counted by 5s. I don't think 5s would have been that easy. So show me your boards, friends. I want to see everyone's boards. Rochelle, you may put yours down. Mia, you may put yours down. Miss Isabella H, it is over then up. You are counting up then over. Okay? We go x-axis then y-axis. Okay? So you are doing yours incorrectly. Okay? So we go over 8 up 2. Over 10 up 6. Okay? Does that make sense? You went up then over for some of them. You have to go over then up. Jaden, yours looks good. Landon, yours looks good. Angelina, yours is fine. Blake, yours is good. You counted by 1s, and that's totally fine. If I haven't seen your board yet, put it up. Gage, yours is good. Jacqueline, I think yours is good. So Isabella H, you're good. You know what I'm talking about? Over then up. We go this way, then that way. Evan, where's your board? Why? Did I say you could erase? Did I say you were good? No, I want to be able to see your boards. You should not be erasing until I say you're good to go. I want to be able to see people's. Logan, where's your board? Kayla, where's your board? Cadence, where's your board? I haven't seen yours. Okay, but I still want to see it. All right, friends? Like, even if you made a mistake, it's not a big deal. That's what Math RTI is for. It's literally for practice so I can see where we made our mistakes, okay? Cadence, I don't remember seeing your board, but okay. All right. So, what questions do we have today, friends?
That's all.
Well, we're already almost out of time. Does everyone see how it is okay that, Blake counted by ones and his graph looked totally fine? I counted by twos and that was totally fine. It is normally, it's best to find the easiest, but to make your graph, you just make an L and decide your scale. Quick question. Does my x-axis and y-axis have to be the same? No, they do not. I could count by fives on my x-axis and I could count by tens on my y-axis. It doesn't matter. Coincidentally, today, they were the same. Don't leave yet. I didn't say go. I'm still talking, friends. So you guys did a good job with those graphs. Keep working really hard. Tomorrow, we're going to work some more on graphs. We only have 3 minutes left, so I don't want to start another problem because that's not enough time. So you are free to go. Good job. Way to work hard today. Some of your guys' graphs looked really great. And those of you that are struggling with graphs, we're going to keep working on them, and it's fine. Bye, guys. I'll see you all in reading. Good job. Good job.